Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are a returning viewer, if you're a new viewer, welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you guys. I hope you enjoy this video. So today is going to be a multicolored text tutorial. I've already done a tutorial on this. This is just the updated version. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you find this helpful. But before we get into this tutorial, I just want to say, Fresh Avocado Gaming, you won the free channel art giveaway. I'm going to be contacting you via the comment section and going to be getting that to you. I'm also going to be making a speed art video on that. So everybody watching this, keep up to date on that. You want to see that? That's gonna be really cool. I had fun making that. So now I'm gonna get into this tutorial. So the multicolored text tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you guys, as it says, how to make multicolored text. So first thing you guys are want to do is you're gonna want to make a new project. So you want to go to File, New, and you're gonna want to create a new image. You can make the image size whatever you want. I recommend doing 1920 by 1080. It's a nice resolution for doing this kind of stuff. And you're going to click OK. I'm not going to, since I've already got my project file set up right here. And it's going to give you something like this, a solid color, and then your image resolution. So your solid color is going to be whatever your foreground color is. But we're going to want to go ahead and change our foreground color. So you're going to want to go to the second option, the CMYK. You're going to want to change the K input value to 90 and go ahead and click OK or enter, either one works, and it's going to confirm that. And then you're going to want to go to the black, and you're going to want to change the black from 100 to 80, and you want to make sure all your other values on both these colors are selected to 0 to make this look right. So now you're going to have two grays. You want to have your darker gray in the foreground, and you're going to want to go over to your gradient tool, which is right here on my tools menu. And you're going to want to select the foreground to background RGB gradient. And this is important. These other two work as well, but you don't want to do any of these other complicated ones. So you're just going to want to do foreground to background. And then you want your shape to be set to linear, blend space, perceptual RGB, repeat, none, offset, 0, dithering, selected, everything else just leave how it is. So you're going to want to click the top left of your screen, and you're going to drag down to the bottom right of your screen. And this is going to create your gradient. So this is the preview. To confirm your preview, you want to push enter on your keyboard, and that will confirm your gradient. So now you have your background right here, and I'm going to unselect it real quick so you can see that's your background. And now you're going to want to add your text. So I am using Evoragria. You can find this on fontspace.com if you want to use the same font as I am. I'm going to go ahead and select my color and change it to white, which is done by sliding the slider all the way down to 0. You can also go to your little Gimp color selector and slide it all the way to the top left. And I'm going to type in Gimp or multicolored text tutorial. Can't type today. Alright, there we go. So I've got my multicolored text tutorial right there, and I'm going to change this to bold, and I'm going to scale this up a decent amount. There we go. Keep going up a little bit more. So let's just say 200 just to make it easy. We're going to do 200 for this. And I'm going to take this, and I am going to go to the Align and Distribute tool. GIMP calls it just the Align tool. It's the same thing. And you're going to want to select relative to image. You don't want to do relative to active layer selection, because that'll distribute it based on the layer you have selected, or the selection you have, which is more advanced. So you're just going to click image, and you're going to want to distribute it to the exact middle of the vertical axis and the exact middle of the horizontal axis. You gotta make sure you click it as well, otherwise it won't distribute it. So there we go. I've distributed that, and you'll note it's not in the exact middle, and that's an issue. We don't want that. We want to make sure it's in the exact middle. So the way to fix this will be to go to Layer, and then the very last option, Crop to Content. So that's gonna define your image. Like, it's gonna make your border exactly parallel with your content area. So now you're going to want to go back to the Align and Distribute and align it vertically and horizontally, and you have it in the exact center now. So the next thing you're going to do is we're going to want to start coloring our image. So to do that, we need to make a duplicate, an extra copy. And we're going to turn off our old copy. So you just you right click and you go up to duplicate layer to make an extra copy, and then you deselect, or you turn off your other copy. So now we're going to go to our rectangle select tool, and we're going to select the multicolored, and just go ahead and click delete on our keyboard to delete that. So now we've got that done, and hold on, let me see how I did this. Let's see. So I made the top, I left the top white, and I made the bottom orange. Okay. So now we're going to alpha to selection on this layer, and it selects text tutorial. And now we are going to go to grow, and we're just going to grow the selection by 1. And we're going to go ahead and click OK. And now that we've got that done, it's selected all the text, even the partial pixels, which isn't always captured when you do alpha to selection. So you always want to grow your selection by 1. That's important and makes a big difference. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this layer on real quick, and I'm going to go to my color picker. I'm going to select this color so I can get the right color, and I'm going to turn that back off. So now I'm going to go to my pencil tool. I'm just going to go ahead and color that in just like that, and I'm going to go to select none. So now you see if I turn this layer back on, we've got the multicolored in white, and we've got the text tutorial in orange. So now we're going to want to go ahead and duplicate the multicolored, the original, one more time. And we're going to drag this up to the top, and we're going to go ahead and select multicolored by taking our rectangle select tool. We're going to go Command or Control I, Command if you're on Mac, Control if you're on Windows, Control I, and that's going to invert the selection. You can also go to select invert to do this, which is right there. But I'm just going to do Control I, and then you're going to want to go ahead and click delete on your keyboard, and that's going to delete the text tutorial from your copy. And you're going to want to go ahead and click select none, and if I turn these two layers off, you see we have just multicolored. So now in our original, if you see right here, we have half of this selected as gray. So the way I did this, let's see, I think I screened that. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take our paths tool, and we're just going to want to go just like that, right across our image. Make a line straight across by clicking twice, right where we want our points. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw all the way around this, just like that, to create a selection around it, and go to from path or shift V. So now I've got that, it's selected my multicolored. So now I'm going to want to do Command I or Control I again to invert my selection and delete the colored part. So now I've got that, and I'm going to go to select none, and then alpha to selection. So now I'm going to want to take my gray, and I'm going to want to change it to 75. So I'm just going to change that value to 75 just like that, and go ahead and click enter. And I'm going to want to just grow my selection by 1. Almost forgot to do that. Just like that, and paint it in. So now I've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and click select none, and I'm going to blend this in by going to screen is what I believe I did. Alright, so let's check that by turning this on. No, screen is not. That's right, that wouldn't work. I think for this one I just lowered the opacity. I left it on normal mode and lowered the opacity just like that. Yeah, alright. So now we've got two colors, and that looks pretty good. So that's one way you can make a second color, is you can just change the color. You can lower the opacity on a layer. So like I could just leave it just like that, but I don't like that, so I just lowered the opacity to 50%, and I got that. So now I'm going to show you another way to do it by blending a layer for the text tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate text tutorial, so I have a copy of that, and I'm going to make this image more interesting and appealing to the eye. I'm going to make the line in the opposite direction and just draw a selection around like that. Go to select from path, and I'm going to go Command I. No, sorry, I'm not going to go Command I. I'm just going to delete this just like that. And now if I turn off my copy, you see I have just that selected. So I'm going to turn off everything but my selection. I'm going to go to alpha to selection. I've got that all selected. So now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this one right here and just add some red into this. Make it a lot darker like that. And I'm just going to color that in real quick. So now I've got that colored in. I'm going to go to select none, and I am going to turn all my other layers back on. Now you see that's way too extreme, so something you could do is you could just go to overlay, and that blends it in a little bit better. So that's how I made my multicolored text to my image right here. This one's a little bit nicer because I spent some more time on it. I'm just showing you guys the concepts for the tutorial. So something else you can do to add a little bit more to this is you can merge everything down, or honestly you don't even need to do that. You can just take this last layer right here and you can make a duplicate of this, just so you have an extra copy, and you drag the duplicate down to the bottom. You go to filters right here, you're going to go down to light and shadow, and you're going to go to drop shadow. And before you do this, you need to make sure you go to layer to image size to make the layer as large as the image so that your shadow doesn't get cut off by the border size. So now you're going to want to go to filters, and you're going to want to go to light and shadow, drop shadow, and go ahead and confirm that. I did mine at 20 and 20 for the X and Y values, and you're going to see you get drop shadow right there. So you can see the difference right there. And now if I turn everything back on, you see that little drop shadow really does add a lot and makes the image look better. So that is how you make multicolored text in GIMP. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you did, be sure to like this video. It really helps. It helps more than you think. And be sure to subscribe. Just a little statistic right there, and is 90%, over 90% actually, of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. I hope you guys like this video. See you in the next one.